Okay, it says I have a low connection, but now it's back. How's it going? So I've been getting this question a lot lately, and so I want to hop on here and do a quick live about it. So the question I get is, should I use a teleprompter in my videos? So this comes up a lot with entrepreneurs not being concerned about remembering what they're going to say in their videos, what they're going to cover and all that. And so apparently what's coming up a lot is that business coaches are recommending that people use all these different teleprompter apps on their phones and saying that that's the way to go. So I was talking to an entrepreneur the other day, and she's telling me, she's like, I really struggle with using the teleprompter, but she's like, all of my business coaches keep telling me that's the best way to make the videos, that I have to use a teleprompter so I can remember all the things I'm going to say. So I was like, okay, cool. So let's break this down. What happens when you use the teleprompter? She's like, well, it just looks like I'm reading. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then what? And she's like, well, my personality's not coming out. I don't seem natural. I don't seem conversational. I just seem like monotone and robotic and like I'm reading a script. And I was like, okay. And then what happens? She's like, well, then I quit. I stopped making videos because I hated how they were turning out, and I just don't want to make videos anymore, but I know I need to make them to sell my course and my coaching program. But, using a teleprompter was just making me totally stuck. This is a super common story that comes up with entrepreneurs, and it made me think back to one of my first auditions out here in LA when I was a young actor, and it was at a time where I would submit for things and go in for things even if I wasn't necessarily right for them, because I was just hungry for auditions. So I remember a casting that came out, and it was like for a hosting thing, and I was like, I'm charismatic, I could be a host, and it was like, must know how to use a teleprompter. And I didn't. And I was like, I'm sure I can figure it out. It doesn't seem that hard. So I went in for the audition for it, and I'm in the waiting room, and all of a sudden there's this long script, and I'm like trying to memorize it as fast as possible because I know I don't know how to use a teleprompter, and I'm going to walk into this audition room and have to use one. So then they call me in like 5 minutes later. I don't have the script memorized at all. And I'm trying so hard to use this teleprompter, and it was, I sucked. Like, it was bad, and I could tell as I was doing it. I could see them in the peripheral in my peripheral vision, like hanging their heads like she does not know how to use a teleprompter and is wasting all of our time. It was after that I realized that there are literally classes in LA on how to use a teleprompter. It is a skill set in its own. It is not something that is just easy and everybody should be expected to know how to do. There are literally classes on how to be able to use a teleprompter effectively so that it does not feel like you are reading off of it, so that it can still be natural and conversational. So when I hear this over and over again, that this is business coaches are telling entrepreneurs to do that, it's baffling to me. It is terrible advice. And ultimately what happens is people quit. They just stop making videos. And so I get, you can see me getting all like revved up about it, because it's really frustrating to me that all of these amazing entrepreneurs have such incredible stories to be sharing, such value to give, and then they get this terrible advice. They get such bad advice from all these business coaches who don't really know about video, telling them use a teleprompter and like all these different things. And then what happens is they get frustrated because they're not good at it and they quit. But you're not expected to be good at it, because that's a skill in its own. And that's something I just want to take that off of entrepreneurs' plates. Like, you're not expected, just because you have a camera in your pocket doesn't mean you're expected to be great on camera right away. It's a technique, it's a skill set, just like anything else. So don't feel bad if you're not good at it. And then instead of using a teleprompter, the advice that I would give, that David, my business partner, and I teach in our course and tell everybody to do instead, is bullet points. A bullet point out what you're going to talk about in your video, and then actually take the time to practice it out loud, so that when you're doing your video, it's not the first time that you're hearing these words. That's going to be your opportunity for it to come across as the most natural conversational version, is bullet points. So try that. I hope this helps. Implement that. The next time somebody tells you to use a teleprompter, ignore them, because you're just setting yourself up for failure, and it is not going to be fun for you. And if you're a business coach that recommends this to people all the time, I've yet to see an entrepreneur reading off a teleprompter that does not seem like they're reading. So if you're a business coach that's giving this advice, please reconsider that, because you're making people just want to quit making videos, and that sucks. So thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions about this, feel free to drop them in the comments below, or reach out to me if you want more support on the bullet pointing or the rest of our preparation process that we teach in our program. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.